storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.
You are the mother of his eldest children.
Yes.
Okay.
We have 2 children together in common.
Okay. And how old are you guys' children?
Our oldest son, Amani, who is a phenomenal artist, he's 24, and Diani is 21, and she's an awesome artist as well.
Nice. Okay, so you guys raised 2 artists. You know what though? I can already tell that basically that means I know your house was one of the most creative homes for them coming up. You know, you didn't keep them in the box, so.
Yes, absolutely. I come from a family of artists as well.
Okay.
So when I got with Talib, I kind of fell back. I was like, look, I'm done with, I used to be a rapper. Actually, Father MC, he used to manage me for a little while.
Really?
Yeah, and then he got signed to M.C.C, and it just we went in our separate directions. But yeah, so after like getting into the industry, and it was just so like sexualized, a lot of males, and they didn't really respect female artists like that. So I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'll just play the background. So I decided to support Talib and what he was doing because he was so dope. And I was like, wow, you're going to make it. And I was like, I'm going to hold you down. You know what I mean? So
did you play so I'm assuming you guys got together at like what, 18, 19 years old?
Well, actually, I was 23 and he was 19, but he lied to me. He told me he was 24.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he lied to me to get me. And I was like, I can't. So I asked him like a month later, I was like, so tell me, when is your date of birth? He told me, I was like, wait a minute, you told me you was 24. What the heck?
Right.
He was 19 going on 20.
He said, I'm going to get her. Okay.
Okay.
And so after you yourself, because you were an artist, you saw how the industry really was and basically misogynistic. I call it demonic to a certain degree too.
Yeah. I when I was rapping, I was really dope. Like, it was so dope. And I met MC Light, and she told me to send her my demo. But something in me was like, don't do it. Something ain't right. I don't want to get taken for a ride. I didn't feel it. You know what I'm saying? So I just fell back, Okay. But I would always give Talib advice on his music. He would always ask me my opinion on stuff. And I had his back all the way for like 21, 22 years. I held him down.
Wow.
And I was quiet. I was quiet through all of this stuff. Quiet. Y'all didn't hear nothing from me.
We didn't because before Jaguar brought up your name last night, I had never heard it. To be honest, I don't really know a whole lot about his personal life at all, besides what certain people have said. And so for you to hold him down for over 21 years, I guess my next question would be to give us a little insight on what you went through with him.
My grandmother used to say, what's done in the dark will come to light. So everything that's coming out, just think about what I had to go through. I'm a healer, and I had to heal myself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's a journey. It's a journey. I had to heal myself quietly. Nobody knew what I was going through. Only my close friends knew what I was going through. I don't want to talk about that, but people's character speaks about who they are. That's all I can say. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So
yeah, I don't want to even go there, but I'm healed, thank God. And I would have to say that with Jaguar coming out and speaking out, I want to thank her, for being so courageous and taking a stand for the truth, because I don't lie. I made a pact with God. I don't lie. So she took a stand, and it takes a brave person to stand up for the truth. So I commend her, and I want to say thank you, thank you to Jaguar for standing up for artists, for doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? For everything she's seen, the woman ain't crazy. People are trying to say that she's not crazy. She's on point.
She is.
And she's speaking truth.
Yes.
I want to also send my condolences to her for her son. So I from mother to mother, woman to woman, I cannot imagine what that must feel like for her to, lose her son. So I send you my condolences, Jaguar. But yes.
I will say one thing about her too is that she's taking all the hits on the chin and she doesn't trip off of it. She's like, she said she lost her dad, like you just said, she lost her son. She's like, I lost two of the most important people to me. And so at this point, I have nothing to lose but to tell the truth. And she doesn't have a reason to lie about anything, to be honest.
I feel the same way. At this point in my life, I have nothing to lose but fear. Because I've been fearful for so many years. And this right here, this platform right here, talking about it, this is a breakthrough. This is a liberating this is very liberating for me because I've never spoken about this. You know what I'm saying? So this is a personal thing. And I hope that, other people, even women and even men who are going through verbal, emotional abuse, financial abuse, sexual abuse.
Yes.
All types of abuses. I hope that they can take something away from this. The truth. The truth will set you free.
It will.
And that's what Jaguar is doing. She's setting people free.
And I always feel like a lot of times we go through things and we feel like, well, I'm the only person going through it, and
I felt like that.
Nobody else would understand. But sometimes it just takes saying, you know what, guys, I'm depressed. And you could have 5 other people in the room be like, I've been there, or I feel that way today. So
yes,
if you had to put a number on it, because I've had a couple other people contact me as well today, actually, back to back.
Oh wow.
One also said that she's scared to say anything, and the other one probably will speak. But how many, if you had to put a number, how many victims are out there of Talib?
Oh, that's a hard question. I don't lie, but I plead the fifth.
Okay.
It's a lot. It's a lot, and that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this not only for me, but it's for a lot of people who's been hurt, heartbroken, don't even know how to mend it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
or where to start?
Going through it.
Yeah.
Anguish, pain, abuse, verbal, emotional, financial, all sorts of abuse. It's no joke.
And it's real. And it's so many people
self-love.
that feel like,
you have to practice self-love. That's all I can say to them. You got to practice self-love. And that's why I'm on that healing. That's why I'm doing healing. And I remember my children, they was like, Mom, all the stuff that you've been through, you could have been a crackhead. All the things I've been through. Wow. And I wrote about that in my book, in my novel. I wrote a coming of age story. So to talk about my childhood and everything, it's in my novel. It's called Dana Dances on Paper, and you can find that on Amazon or whatever. But it's about. Let me look it up as you're talking. Okay, but it's about. I wrote 3 books, and it's been, I've been quiet. Why? Because I've been in people's shadows. I've been in those shadows, and I'm tired of being in people's shadows because they're not helping me out. They're not supporting me. So now it's time for us to shine our light. For those who have been going through that type of abuse, that type of pain, it's time for them to shine their light and stand up for the truth. So however Jaguar is expressing herself and her truth, however people want to look at it, like they say, beautiful words ain't always truthful, and truthful words ain't always beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
That is
so
true.
It is what it is. My mother was a warrior for the truth. And the way she came out, it came out the way it comes out. That's how it is. So I commend her for speaking up. It takes courage because a lot of people are freaking scared. They want to just cling to a lie. So I'm here to just speak up for everybody. Let's all liberate ourselves and be brave and be love and love is truth. Being truthful is an action of love.
Are you living a hectic and stressful life? Between the news and racial stress and trauma, do you find yourself feeling alone and anxious? If so, join our community, Mind, Body, Faith, and learn how to establish daily practices that aid in healing the mind, body, and spirit, like meditation, yoga, prayer, breath work, and journaling. Pause and let your spirit breathe by using our meditation prayer cards and meditation candles when you need to reconnect with God. Start on your new path by taking our meditation quiz, because it's always a good time to meditate with God.
So I wonder then, because he hasn't responded too much, but he made one video towards what Jaguar had said. But what I'm curious about, and I'm sure the audience is too, is he even in contact with the children you guys have together?
Yes, he is.
He is.
He is. I have to say for him, you know, he paid his child support. He always paid his child support. You know what I'm saying? So I can say that about him. He always paid his child support. There's no issues with that. But you know, the rabbit hole can go much deeper, but I'm not even gonna go there. You know, we raised the children, and for the most part, I had to take them to the hospital. I had to take them to the doctors. I had to take them to their school recitals and support them in everything that they did. I did it. You know what I mean? His money helped provide. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
it was hand in hand.
But but see, the thing is, even though he paid child support, which that's great, you still had the life of a single mom.
Exactly.
Yeah, you still did, and I think a lot of people don't, a lot of men especially don't realize that your presence is necessary too. Although
Absolutely.
once you start to have so many children in so many different homes, and it's like, well, you can only spread yourself so thin because then you have to work to take care of all those
Right.
kids.
Yeah. But you know, he wanted me at first. He wanted me to be a stay-at-home mom. I did that, and then then he changed his mind after a while, and he wanted me to start working. It was all about what he wanted. I don't want to go into more detail about that. I think I'm talking too much, but I would have to say, he was a good father. He took the kids on trips, while I held it down as I always have. I held them down, took the kids to school, helped them with their homework, raised them, it was like a single parent. And I doing all of this with a broken heart. How do you do that? With a broken heart. So I had to heal and make sure my children were okay. You know what I mean? So it was no joke. But I give thanks to the Creator that I kept my sanity, that I remained strong through it all. I wrote 3 books, and I'm doing, I became a doula. I help deliver babies, and I'm a healer now. So it works out. It worked out.
Yeah.
And I say whoever's I turned it into
pain.
something positive.
Yeah,
I turned the pain into something positive. You got to, or you can lose yourself. You know what I'm saying?
So what's the status of your relationship with him today?
We don't talk.
Okay. It's not this. It's just
He don't even. I don't remember the last time he wished me a happy Mother's Day.
Wow.
Yeah. And I know who I am. I know who I am, and I know I loved him. I loved him so much. So much. The thing that threw me off was when he went to the okplayer.com tour. We was going through our, our stuff, but he said that we was at the tail end of our relationship, so he says, right? But that's not what I was thinking. When he came home, he was a completely different person. When he came home, it looked like his soul was snatched out of his body. I don't know
Wow.
what happened on that tour, but he came home. I cried my heart out. I cried so hard. I was like, who is he? Like, he was a different person. And
And that was in
I don't know,
2005, right?
that was like in 2000, when he came home, and I was like, what the heck is going on? What is he doing? What's going on in the industry? But there's a lot of dark stuff going on that I wasn't even privy to, because I was too focused on taking care of the kids, making sure the kids was good, making sure that
Yeah.
I was good,
Yeah.
my mental health. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
you had other stuff going on, and then they know how to hide that stuff anyway. They're not gonna tell you all that
yeah,
other
of
dark stuff.
course. Yeah. So when he came home, that was the end. That's when it just dissipated, and I thought it was a really beautiful relationship. It was beautiful. But he had his vices, you know what I'm saying? And you know, nobody is perfect. I'm not perfect. I have my stuff. I have things that I had to work through and go through. I'm not here to judge him. I'm not here to judge anybody. Who am I to judge? You know what I
Right.
mean? But I'm just telling my story and my truth. And yeah, I'm just sharing because it needs to be heard. And one time I had called, this was back in 2001, I believe. I called Wendy Williams on her show because I was so hurt and I was so upset. And I was like, I wanted to say, he is not the person you think he is. I was going to call her on that. And she was like, when I called her, I said, I'm the mother of Talib Kweli's children. She said, I don't want to hear it. I love Talib. I don't want to hear it.
Oh.
That's when Get By came out and he was at the top of his career. And I was like, wow, okay, well, I'm going to just keep this in. And people would say all great things about him, and I wouldn't say anything. I'll just keep it to myself and endure, and just focus on loving the children, giving them love, and giving him love too. But
And
what
so
I
we
got,
can we can say that basically even when you try to speak out against the injustices that you had to deal with him,
yeah,
nobody had an open ear. And so I think that's something to
no,
keep in mind with victims, because people always say, well, why didn't you say something before? Why didn't you say something 10 years ago? If people are not
it
ready
was hard.
to receive the message, it's going to fall on deaf ears. It just is.
Yes,
We've
I
known
was
about
suffering
R.
in
Kelly.
silence.
We've known about R. Kelly for 20 years. Nobody did anything. Anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of people were suffering in silence, but I said, you know what? This is the year 2020, 2020 vision, 2020 exposure. Everything
Yes.
is coming out. And this is a blessing. This is a wonderful thing. It's a purge. The universe, the planets, we had the COVID and everybody had to quarantine and the freaking world stood still. It needs to be cleansed of lies, of injustices, of sexualization, all that stuff. So this is a wonderful time for everybody to get their shit together, to clean up to work on themselves. You know what I'm saying? I
Is
have
he
10%.
ready to?
I'm
Is
sorry,
he ready
I
to?
didn't charge up my phone all the way.
No, you're fine. But is he
I'm on
ready to work with?
10%.
Oh, you're on 10%. Okay, okay. So I'll wrap
Yeah.
it up. I'll wrap it up. But just tell us this real quick. Then, how did you pull yourself out of the depression and what you were going through with him to the healthy person that you are today?
I had to detach from him. Um, I had to cling to God. I went through so many religions. Oh my gosh. I went to Christianity, then I went to Islam, and then I went to Buddhism. And now I'm just like I'm spiritual. I love the Creator. I know there's only one God, so I'm a healer. How did I do it? You got to detach from people who are in the dark. You know, people who are on the lower frequency. You know what I'm saying? I chose to be on a higher frequency because it makes me feel good. I like to feel good. I like to be happy. I love to laugh. I don't like to be depressed. I don't like people to tell me that I'm not special. I don't like people. I don't want to be around people who tell me that I'm lazy and I'm nothing and I'm a bum. I don't want people to tell me that stuff.
Right.
People who I love, I got to detach. You got to detach from people like that who are on low frequencies, who don't pray, who don't do their part to elevate, you know? And it had me question, well, are we friends or are we enemies? I don't know.
A lot of
I don't
people
know.
we're enemies with, and we don't even realize it. And so for you to be here today, for us to see you now in a functional state, and for us to only imagine what you've been through versus to see Talib today and his struggles with alcohol and whatever other vices he may have had.
I've known Talib before he even got onto alcohol, and I told him, don't get into alcohol because it runs in your family.
Are you a bad bitch? Are you a bad bitch? Are you a bad bitch? Is you a savage?
Well, whether you are a bad bitch or a savage or whatever you want to call yourself, I am here to talk to you today about a book called Bad Bitches and Perfect Pitches that is authored by Precious Williams. One of the biggest differences between you and your competition in any facet of your life is the fact that they know how to effectively communicate and you don't. See, in this world, you don't have to be the smartest, you don't have to be the prettiest, you don't have to have the most money, but you do have to be able to sell yourself. Now, Precious Williams comes from the inner city of St. Louis, and she, in her book, has shown you how to elevate your life by using the gift of gab, using your words, using communication. Bad Bitches and Power Pitches. If you're trying to sell a book to someone, if you're trying to work on your elevator pitch for a meeting at work, if you're trying to elevate your career, if you're trying to bring clients into your business, and just to learn how to effectively communicate out in the world, then you can definitely benefit from this book. Now, Precious Williams' book has been featured on Forbes, CNN, LinkedIn, Black Enterprise, and more. It can be found at www.perfectpitches by Precious. Now go ahead and buy today so you can be on your way to being a bad bitch with the perfect pitch.
You'll get hooked. Just stay with the weed. Don't get on the alcohol. He didn't listen. And when I saw that, I said, I have to detach. I can't be a part of that. At the time, I didn't know the skills I have now. You know what I mean? The healing skills. I didn't have that. I had to detach so I can make sure the kids was good.
Of course.
But what helped me also was my children, because the love that I put into them, they gave it right back to me, and they still giving it back to me. So it's a fountain. It's like, it's nonstop. So it's important to, like, if you got people you love, especially your children, you give that to your kids because they give it right back to you. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the children that we have. Yeah. Okay. And I'm sorry that he's going through what he's going through. I even reached out to him, like, he can use my services. I can give him Reiki healing. I'm still open to giving him Reiki healing. He needs it. You know, I can give him, you know, all sorts of stuff, all sorts of healing. But
what is Reiki?
You know, you can. Reiki is a Japanese healing practice. It's REIKI, and you know, it's very powerful. You know, it's a wonderful healing practice that I do. So yeah, that's where that's my come from. You know, it's love, and I still have love for him, but it's not the way it was before. You know what I'm saying? I love him unconditionally, but it's not. And you know what? I have to make an announcement. Recently, this sister, her name is Poetica. Okay, I have to call her out on something, if you don't mind. No, Poetica came to my house. Thank you, Poetica. She was the one that put me on to what was going on with Jaguar. When Jaguar apologized to me, she was like, "Sis, yo, Jaguar Wright, she just apologized to you. You need to go online and see what she's talking about, and she's calling out your name." I was like, "Really?" She was like, "Yeah." So I invited her over to my house. She and her husband, they came to my house, and I was going through something in my own personal life, okay, that I'm not going to mention. And she came through, and something wasn't right. You know, I felt something wasn't right. So she came through, but I just want to say it ended kind of like negative because she stole a few of my friends' things that was in my home. His generator, his power washer, a whole bunch of other stuff. So Poetica and Marty, okay, please bring back the generator and everything else that you done stole from my house because I have a police report on you. Thank you. Sorry to be putting that out there, Storm, but that needs to be heard. This was just recent. I open my doors to her. I give her Reiki healing, and that's what she does.
And she steals.
So now, yeah, she stole from me. But you know what? With Reiki healing, when I do Reiki healing, it only takes 3 days before they reveal themselves. It's amazing. So the truth comes out in 3 days.
Wow.
3 days, that's all it takes. So she was at my house for about 5 days, overstayed her visit. You see? And look what happened. But it's all good because I have a police report out. But I want to just put that out there because I don't know what she's trying to say about me. I gave her healing. So yeah, I'm at 9%. We can keep going until it just goes out if you want.
That's fine.
I'm enjoying your conversation. You're pretty cool. You're really laid back and you're a cool guy, you know?
Well, thank you. Well, thank you.
Where are you from?
Oh, I moved here from Arizona, so I'm in Atlanta now, and it's a whole
okay.
world.
Yeah. Okay. I just came back from South Carolina, visiting my family last weekend, and it was interesting because I went there to just hang out, see my family. I haven't seen them in years since the COVID and all of that. It just kind of, and I came to, get some food and hang out with my family. Come to find out I had to do some healing work, but it was all good. You know what I mean? Okay. I had to do missionary work. It's all good though, because I love my family. You know what I mean? So it turned out to be positive, as always. But.
Well, I meditate. I've been meditating for a while, and I may try the Reiki healing thing. I may try it. Go to
Reiki
a class.
Healing, yeah. Well, if you want to go to a class, I can give you my mentor's information because she does workshops and you can get certified. I always had the healing. I just needed a channel. You know what I mean? So the Reiki healing, it's a wonderful channel because you'll never get drained. It's a two-way thing. You're an instrument. You're a vessel of the light. So the light comes through you, and then it comes right down into the other person that you lay your hands on. So they get healing and you get healing. I remember I did Reiki for 5 people and I had enough energy to drive back home, which was like an hour and a half away. So it's a beautiful practice and it's very healing. So yeah, I'll send you her information once we're done with the interview.
Okay, yeah, that'll be cool. I know one thing that's important to get out there too, like we said, that there are different types of abuse, I think sometimes we focus just on the scars we can see on the outside, but I just think it's important to let people know that if you feel belittled, if you feel isolated, if you feel controlled, that those
I'm a
are
DV survivor too. Yes, a lot. It's control. Oh my gosh, like control, manipulation. The person breaking down your self-esteem, making you feel like you're nothing, that you know what I mean? That's just wrong. You don't do that to people. That's not nice. Because let me tell you something. You do that to the wrong person, they're gonna grow up and they're gonna get big and they're gonna freaking stomp you out. Like you think you're a giant right now? This little old person could be David and Goliath. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying the truth will set us all free. The truth is powerful. You know what I'm saying? So doing that to people is just not a nice thing. It's important to be kind. It's important to be loved. That goes a long ways. You know what I'm saying? When you do wrong to people and you manipulate them and you control them, don't think that they're stupid. They can feel. Even animals can feel. You know what I'm saying? You do something wrong to an animal, they may not be able to verbalize it, but they can feel it.
Yes, they can.
So you got to be. At this age, at this stage, we gotta do the right thing. We gotta do the right thing. Love all. That's my come from. Love all.
What if people feel like it's too late? What if they feel like you can't teach an old dog a new trick?
It's never too late. It's never too late to love. It's never too late. It starts within ourselves. You know what I mean? A lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but some people are just afraid to be by themselves. I'm not going to say who it is, but they're afraid to be by themselves. So they rather sleep with so many different people every night so that they're not alone. It's very important to embrace your solitude. Being alone is so dope because you can get to know more about yourself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Don't be afraid of yourself. But, you know, maybe because people who are afraid to be alone is because they're so ugly inside and they did so much damage to other people that they're afraid to be with the monster that's inside of themselves. But forgive yourself. That's what it starts with. Forgive yourself. Turn to the Creator. There's only one God. God is in us. God is in you, is in me.
Yeah.
And when we all come together, that's how you make it one God, oneness, unity. You know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid of who you are. You got all these people out here scared of you because you coming across as a big giant and you got all this money and you got all this fame, right? And you got all this intelligence. But what about you gotta be kind. You gotta forgive yourself. Do the right thing. And it's never too late.
Yeah.
It's never too late, for real. So I just want to just, send that message. I'm on 4%.
Okay. All right. So we'll wrap it up. All right. So I think that was a beautiful message to leave it on. Thank you so much for coming onto the show.
You're welcome.
I think you said enough things without saying them, and I think we can read between the lines. But most importantly, the message is: it's never too late to love. It's never too late to turn your life around.
It's never. Just forgive and love. Start with that. Start with loving yourself, and then you can love others. Please, I'm begging you. I'm talking to, you know who I'm talking about. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm just saying. It's never too late. So thank you so much, Storm. It was wonderful. And I hope that whoever is hearing this message, that they can take away, something from this. They can feel empowerment and liberated and strong and free, Yes. Right now I feel free and I don't feel scared anymore because I used to be scared. But you know what? Like I said, what have I got to lose but fear? Because God got my back all day.
Yes.
So yeah, I want to say again, thank you, Sister Jaguar Wright, for stepping it up and taking accountability for what you did and being a queen and being a woman. You know what I'm saying? And doing what you got to do. Whatever it is you got to do what you got to do. And I pray that we all are growing and you are protected throughout this whole process, that we're all protected. But when we do the right thing and we speak for truth, we're good no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. We'll talk. Maybe I don't know. One day I can, I can give you Reiki. How about that?
You never know. You never know.
Okay.
Well, you got my email. You got my info, and I want to say thank you once again, and you enjoy your night.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Take care.
Now, are you tired of being fat as hell? Are you sick of your breasts hitting your lap when you sit down? Are you embarrassed every time you go by and people think you pregnant, but you really not? You just had a big burrito last night. If you were going through them problems, and guess what? I got a solution for you, and your solution is going to be found in NUTRABURST. Now, before you get mad, let me let you know, in addition to using NUTRABURST products, you're going to need a healthy caloric deficit diet. But one of my favorite products that NUTRABURST offers is called Resolution Drops and Life Drops. And I'm telling you, they help me not eat as much because, I'm a cookie monster. I'm a slave to that pata monster. So if you a slave to the pasta and the cookies like me, get you some Resolution and some Life Drops. My link is in the description box below.
It's Storm Show. Ay, it's Storm Show.